Heart to Heart Catholic Media Ministry presents Lessons from the School of Suffering. A young priest with cancer teaches us how to live. Written by Father Jim Willig with Tammy Bundy.
Epilogue. Graduation. I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. 2 Timothy 4:7. Some things we will never understand this side of heaven. Those words came from the heart of Father Jim Willig to explain life's mysteries, and they now fall as a healing balm on the broken hearts of those of us who miss him already. On Sunday, June 24th, 2001, Father Jim, who spent his entire life working for God, was granted an early retirement. The news headlines all reported that cancer claimed this beloved priest, but the truth is that God claimed him a long time ago. Those who knew and loved Father Jim know and love the fact that he is now reaping the rewards of his insightful investments of his retirement account. No one had earned the right to retire more than Father Jim, yet no one wanted to work more than Father Jim desired to work. After every debilitating surgery, after every exhausting therapy, until his very last days, he would somehow find his way back to his loving parish at Saints Peter and Paul in Reading, Ohio. The tremendous love that came from this man for his parish could only be paralleled by the overwhelming love the parish returned to him. So what made Father Jim Willig so special? My 8-year-old summed this up best when he said, "Mommy, I remember one day after church, we were talking to Father Jim after everyone had left. When Father Jim sat down, I sat on his lap and he put his arm around my shoulder. At that time, I felt so close to God." That was Father Jim. He reflected God's love onto every person with whom he came into contact. What's more, he encouraged us, he challenged us to do the same for each other. He took what he had learned at his school of suffering, and he masterfully shared his lessons through silent actions as well as wise words. Yes, he taught us faith, he taught us hope, he taught us love, and the greatest of these is love. It was love that kept him going. Father Jim never gave up on his battle with cancer. He once said, "Until I take my very last breath on earth, I will know that the Lord could heal me in an instant, if it would be His will." No, he never gave up, but he did fully give it over to the Lord. He never surrendered to cancer. He surrendered to the Lord. And in doing so, he truly found peace that surpasses all understanding. In one of my last conversations with Father Jim, this peace became even more evident. I asked him if he had the chance to turn back the clock and return to his doctor's office on that fateful day on July 6, 1999, and this time to walk out with a clean bill of health, never to remember what he had endured or learned, would he take that opportunity? Not surprisingly, without a moment's hesitation, he replied, "Absolutely not. I know that I have reached more people, touched more souls in the last 2 years with cancer than I have in my other 22 years as a healthy priest." Even before his cancer diagnosis, though, people knew Father Jim was special. During that last pilgrimage to the Holy Land, a priest there commented that Father Jim was a sunflower. A sunflower? Father Jim's first reaction was less than favorable to this floral label. It wasn't long, however, before he began to like the comparison and realized that a sunflower spreads its roots deep in the soil, all the while stretching and growing toward the sun. That's how Father Jim grew, never once taking his eyes off his Lord. During the funeral mass for Father Jim, his best friend, Jesuit Father Michael Sparrow, observed even more similarities. A sunflower is beautiful and vibrant for a time that seems too short to the rest of us. When it dies, the sunflower leaves behind hundreds of seeds in the heart of the flower that can keep the chain of life going. We now can take much comfort in knowing that the seeds of faith and love that Father Jim sowed in his lifetime will grow for far more years than any of us will ever see. But still we miss him. He indeed left a great legacy, but also a great void. My husband wisely observed the day after Father Jim died, there just seems to be a little less love in the world today than there was yesterday. We want to ask why he was taken from us at the young age of 50. Why didn't he get that miracle that so many prayed for so faithfully? Some things we will never understand this side of heaven. But when we are finished grieving, we will all look back on the last 2 years, on the life of our beloved pastor, and we will see people laughing together, crying together, worshiping together, praying together, all because of Father Jim Willig. And that is nothing less than a miracle. 2 years ago, after I first wrote about Father Jim in my column in the Cincinnati Post, he graciously thanked me for writing about him. At that time, I told him that I would one day write about his miracle. And so, my dear Father Jim, this is the story of the miracle I promised you. I know you are reading it on that other side in heaven. Some things we may never understand this side of heaven, but some things you just know. Tammy Bundy, August 2001.
All of us at Heart to Heart hope you've enjoyed this audiobook series of lessons from the School of Suffering, a special summer program as part of the celebration of the 30th anniversary of our ministry. If you're interested in purchasing a copy of the recording of the full audiobook, either in a 3 CD set or as a digital download, or a print copy of the book, please visit the Heart to Heart Catholic Media Ministry website, www.htoh.us. Other print and recorded resources are also available there. On that site, you can sign up to receive more inspiring content delivered right to your email inbox. Or call our toll-free number for more information or with any prayer requests you may have. 1-877-208-4875. And please, keep us in your prayer as well. Donations of any size are greatly appreciated to help support the ministry, including regular gifts from friends who are part of our Pacemakers program. Many hearty thanks for listening to this special summer-long series. May God bless your heart and the hearts of all your loved ones. This audio recording is copyright 2023 by Heart to Heart Catholic Media Ministry.